Good day, and welcome to our special coverage of a major development in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Today, we bring you significant updates following Ukraine's deployment of US-made long-range ATACMS missiles to target Russian territory. This marks a dramatic shift in the dynamics of the war and raises new concerns about the potential for escalation. US-approved missile strikes inside Russia. The Ukrainian military, with approval from the Biden administration, has launched 6 ATACMS missiles toward Russia's Bryansk region, a border area critical for Russian military operations. Local sources indicate that 5 of these missiles were intercepted by Russian defense systems, but fragments of the 6th caused an explosion at a military base, sparking a fire. No casualties have been reported, according to Russian authorities. The use of these long-range missiles underscores a strategic shift, enabling Ukraine to hit targets up to 300 kilometers away. This decision follows extensive requests from Kyiv, as Ukrainian forces seek to weaken Russian supply lines and operational capabilities within their own territory and beyond. Russia's response, a warning of nuclear repercussions. The response from Moscow has been swift and severe. President Vladimir Putin has altered Russia's nuclear doctrine in direct reaction to these developments. The new policy states that if a non-nuclear state, like Ukraine, uses assistance from a nuclear-armed country to attack Russia, it could justify a nuclear response. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov emphasized that this is not just a warning to Ukraine but also a message to NATO, particularly the United States. The Kremlin argues that NATO's involvement in supplying and potentially guiding the use of these weapons makes this a direct threat to Russia's sovereignty. A shift in Russia's nuclear doctrine. This isn't the first time Russia has amended its nuclear strategy. In 2020, prior to its invasion of Ukraine, Putin stated that nuclear weapons could be used if Russia faced an existential threat. More recently, the criteria have been broadened to include critical threats to Russia's sovereignty or that of its allies, like Belarus. These changes signal a more aggressive stance, heightening fears that the ongoing conflict could escalate beyond conventional warfare. Increased Russian aggression against Ukraine. Amid these tensions, Russia has intensified its attacks on Ukraine, focusing on energy infrastructure. Waves of missile strikes and drone assaults have targeted critical facilities, leaving Ukrainian cities in darkness and civilians vulnerable as winter approaches. Russia has also repeatedly warned Western nations not to provide Ukraine with advanced weaponry, such as Patriot missile systems, F-16 fighter jets, or modern tanks. Despite these warnings, Western allies, led by the US, have continued to supply Ukraine with critical military aid. North Korea's role. A new front in the conflict. Adding another layer to this conflict, over 11,000 North Korean soldiers have reportedly been stationed along Ukraine's borders, with expectations that this number could grow to 100,000. This development has drawn international condemnation and raised questions about the extent of North Korea's involvement. Experts suggest that North Korean troops are bolstering Russian forces, particularly in areas where Moscow struggles to maintain control. This alliance signals the deepening international dimensions of the Ukraine war, drawing parallels to Cold War-era proxy conflicts. European allies respond to the crisis. Across Europe, NATO allies like Finland and Sweden are urging their citizens to prepare for potential emergencies. Governments are advising the stockpiling of essential supplies as fears grow over the conflict's unpredictability. Simultaneously, European nations are ramping up their military readiness. Countries like France and the United Kingdom are increasing their defense budgets and pledging continued support for Ukraine. This marks a significant shift, with Europe striving for greater independence in its security strategies while maintaining strong ties with NATO and the US. Ukraine's goals amid escalation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky faces mounting pressure to secure decisive victories on the battlefield. While Ukraine has made progress in regaining occupied territories, challenges remain, especially in the eastern Donbas region and the Russian-occupied Kursk area. The US approval of long-range missile strikes provides Ukraine with a critical advantage. By targeting Russian supply lines and military infrastructure, Ukraine aims to level the playing field, making future peace negotiations more favorable. Putin's calculations: consolidation before negotiations. Analysts suggest that Putin's current strategy involves consolidating gains before a potential negotiation phase. By intensifying attacks and leveraging alliances like the one with North Korea, Russia aims to strengthen its position before engaging in peace talks. This strategy may also involve creating facts on the ground, securing territorial gains that could be used as bargaining chips in any future settlement. A warning to the world. The developments we're witnessing mark one of the most dangerous phases of the Ukraine war. The introduction of long-range US missiles into the conflict and Russia's threats of nuclear escalation bring the world closer to the brink of a broader confrontation. Countries around the globe are watching these events unfold with trepidation. The decisions made in the coming weeks will not only shape the future of Ukraine but also have profound implications for global security. Conclusion. As we continue to monitor this rapidly evolving situation, the stakes could not be higher. From the battlefields of Ukraine to diplomatic corridors across Europe and North America, the world braces for what comes next. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth coverage. Stay tuned to this channel for the latest updates on this story and more. If you found this report informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on breaking news stories from around the world. Thank you for watching.